Couple of days. Has been tested repeatedly for COVID. That's come back negative, but he's had some stomach issues, Dick, and some fatigue. He won first-round picks overall in 11 years. The lob over the top for Abaji. They can't connect. And back comes Devin Askew. Kentucky will look to push when they can. One of the issues for them in the early going, and again, it's very...
...to the paint, and he scored on the interior.
Terrence Clarke, 6'7", out of Boston, a very creative perimeter guy, can do a lot of different things. You can see the hand, and he'll get his without being a focal point of the offense. Garrett over the top, the pass deflected away, and back comes Kentucky. This is Brandon Boston Jr. out of Norcross, Georgia. Off to Askew. He misses the three. And a great box out there by McCormick, allowing Christian Brown to come up with a rebound. And how about the game that Brown had against St. Joe's?
Too many things for that. Handles the ball fairly well. He's aggressive defensively.
A turnover by Boston. Numbers for KU. Brown gets a look through the first 2 games of the season for the Jayhawks.
Well, you know, Abaji showed a lot of potential last year, but he was inconsistent.
3.
He's a guy
with no fans in the stands, you can hear both coaches, especially Calipari, yelling out instructions to their team. Boy, Kentucky's troubles from beyond the arc continue.
Well, Clarke shows that versatility he possesses. You know, they out-rebounded Richmond by 23. That's the first time in the history of basketball at Kentucky ever lost a game when they out-rebounded a team by 20 rebounds.
Abaji knocks down a 3. He's got all 5 in the early going for KU. Sarr, nice little shovel pass, and the slam is good for Isaiah Jackson.
There's a look at Jackson right there going down the gut of the defense. Tremendous pass by Sarr. He was one of the most wanted transfers. There's the double team. So he recognized he was doubled up. See the experience right there? He was doubled up and left the lane to the goal. Up, and away. Mr. Jackson. They're going to love him in Big Blue Nation.
Garrett looking for help. Finds Abaji. Misses the 3. Jackson keeps it alive, and here comes Askew. Oh, good defense by Garrett, and he game for the first time for Kansas, a 5th-year senior. He redshirted last year because they had so much depth up front. Little runner around and out for Garrett. Battle for the rebound. Jayhawks get it back. Not play at all last year because of injuries. Was the starter the 2 years prior to that. Follows up the miss on the free throw. He got the offensive rebound, and Brandon Boston Jr. gets the dunk, and Bill Self has seen enough. 6-point lead for the Wildcats, 7-10 into the first half in Indianapolis. One more look. Mintz getting the rebound of his own miss, and Boston slamming it home.
Jay Billis said, in terms of guys really playing well together, and that was big for them. They got good play out of Kid Watts and out of Henry, and the kid off the bench, Marble, was a real good, solid player for them. That was a good win for them.
The assistant coaches, the players themselves. Boston with the drive. Kentucky slowly but surely they keep stretching out that lead. A couple of recent buckets for their top-ranked freshman, Brandon Boston Jr.
Wow. Can't teach that kind of ability. Mr. Pentecost, his wife, Cindy, gives $2 million. Mark Cuban with 500.
Kansas down in Fort Myers. They have had a positive test in their program. They are on pause right now as well.
Hey, one thing lacking for Kansas this year is going to be interior scoring. And that's what I'm going to miss Azubuike down in that box. Everything's going to have to come to wings, to driving, shoot some threes.
Well, Dick, they've got 5 perimeter guys in the game. Kentucky, a team that doesn't have a lot of post offense, and their biggest guy, Sarr, is not in the game right now.
And go inside. He was a great pickup from Wake Forest. They really did a... I thought the NCAA did a great job in that box. I'd be a little more physical, a little more aggressive offensively. Want the ball. You got to want the ball.
Christian Brown wants the ball.
Occasionally, he would find out it would be a great plus for Kentucky.
I tell you what, why don't you set up a Zoom call with Calipari and you tell him that, but I want to be on the call when you tell him he should play zone.
Not a lot, play a little bit.
Unbelievable game between Illinois and Baylor. Holly Rose got more.
Well, guys, Scott Drew, who had been out and away from his team for their last several weeks because of a COVID positive test, has actually joined.
Years working with Dick Vitale. I thought that was the award I was going to be getting.
Oh, man.
Clarke inside for Kansas, but he's been held in check recently. Garrett's done most of the scoring the last few minutes. Now a
solid defense as well.
Kentucky beat Morehead State 81-45 in their season opener, and then lost to Richmond 76-64 for the A-10.
And then Davidson's lost 2 one-point games. Lost to Indiana by 1 and lost today to Providence by 1. That league is very tough. And we haven't even talked about Dayton, and they got some key players back, but they don't have this tough.
Christian Brown with his first points of the night to get Kansas back within 10. Jackson on the block. Over Wilson last season and had to use a medical red shirt.
Yeah, he's just a good, solid all-around player. Not a great athlete, but just that they're, and I think it allowed teams to hang with them and stay in the game.
Let's bring Holly back in.
Well, guys, after just 5 assists in their last game against Richmond, one of the messages from John Calipari
had 21 turnovers in the loss to Richmond as Bill Self and John Calipari both prowling the sideline in Indianapolis.
Championship. And they lost 2 games all year. One was to Kansas in overtime, and they lost to Colorado. That was the only 2 losses.
Managed to creep back within 8 points here with just over 2 minutes to go in the half.
They got to get Brown to 3. They got to get him 3 for 3. He says 3.
Clarke one-on-one with Abachi. Good matchup here. Clarke the handoff to Jackson. Spins into the... Clarke one-on-one with Abachi. Good matchup here. Clarke the handoff to Jackson. Spins into the double team and can't get it to go off the window.
That was not a good shot right there. Doubled up. He had to make an extra pass.
There's a pretty good shot right there, but Abachi leaves the open 3 well short.
There was an example right there what Holly was talking about. Making the extra pass, and right there Jackson didn't do it in that possession. They play a little bit too much one-on-one, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Nice.
For Auburn, Timmy is averaging 26.5 points per game and shooting 71% from the field.
Oh, his footwork on the inside.
22,000, and it's just a whole different vibe. There's no question. Garrett struggling to keep control. Abachi with the shot.
In 5 minutes, I'm in my bed.
And again, if you're just joining us, things, as everybody knows, are a little bit different, a lot different.